computer. All right, everybody, happy Monday. I'm going to share my screen and pull up Wodify. We have Ian with us.
Yep, I'm here. Sorry.
Perfect. All right. So hopefully you should be able to see the screen. What we have today, it's both a little bit of successory work, which we will leave to Ian depending on when he wants to do that, and then one AMRAP. So not necessarily additional strength work, just a longer AMRAP. We'll go over this in order of what's on Wodify. I'll talk through this. If you've been watching the videos before, like I've done, I'll talk through it, then I'll demo, then I'll talk through the warm up, and then I'll demo again. Pretty straightforward AMRAP. So as many rounds and reps as possible of the following movements. We have 10 wall balls. If you have wall balls, I'll get to substitutions and scalings in a second. 10 wall balls, 10 sit-ups, and 10 either box jumps or step-ups, depending on what you would normally do and or the availability of a sturdy surface upon which to jump. Next round through, you're going to add 2 reps to each movement. So that's 12 wall balls, 12 sit-ups, 12 box jumps. Next round, 14, 14, 14, 16, 16, etc. So in terms of the actual workout itself, pretty straightforward there. My encouragement as you look at this would be to certainly pace yourself a little bit early on. I want you to take the approach of getting faster as this AMRAP goes on, rather than, hey, 10 wall balls, it's a super small set. I'm just gonna blitz this right away. And then all of a sudden on 16 and with 14 minutes left, we're gasping for air and wondering how we're gonna survive the rest of the workout. So really take the approach that you're still pushing the pace early on, where you're not trying to win the first round. And I think the win in this workout is gonna be to be able to pick up your speed as time goes on. I think what's gonna allow that to happen is you make a commitment to going unbroken on your sit-ups and your box jumps every single round. Box jumps don't have to be fast, just be steady on those. We saw in the last open when there was it the box jumps and the pistols, and was it the clean and jerk, I think? Or maybe it was the shoulder to overhead, where we saw games athletes just kind of testing it out, doing step-ups each round instead of box jumps, and they still had a really solid score. So box jumps don't have to be fast, just have to be steady. If you start with box jumps, I want you to do box jumps the entire time. I don't want you to get tired and then start doing step-ups. If you start with box jumps, I'd like you to do that the entire time. My encouragement would just to be step down. So unbroken sit-ups, unbroken box jumps. And then kind of as you start getting ready for this workout, make a decision right now on how frequently you want to break on those wall balls. So 10 wall balls at a time, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. You could probably go unbroken for through 20 for maybe some of our athletes that have been training a little bit more consistently over these last couple of months. Starting at maybe over 20, do we want to break there, or do we want to see how long you go unbroken? Do we make that commitment to, hey, I'm going all these, I'm going to go unbroken through, we'll say 30 wall balls, and then go 16 and 14, and then 18 and 16 or something like that, to kind of really make that decision now while our mind is fresh and clear and we have goals that we're trying to get, rather than let that conversation that's going on in our head mid-workout determine when and where we break. So I'm gonna stop the share for a second and pull me back up here. Okay, so normal sit-up, we'll do that first. Shoulders have to come in front of your hips. That's our only standard for that. Legs can be straight, legs can be in front here, legs can be crossed, doesn't really matter, as long as shoulders coming in front of the hips. Box step-ups are normal, jumping off with 2 feet, landing on 2 feet on the box, and then standing all the way up at the top. I'm in an apartment, so I'm not gonna demo jumping on objects right now. For the wall balls, if I demo what a wall ball looks like, right? Let's maybe back this up just a little bit more. If I demo what a wall ball looks like, it's here. To me, one scaling option could just be doing air squats holding an object. If you Google what a 14-pound household object is, they'll come up with all sorts of things from cats to gallons of paints to bowling balls. It's kind of entertaining. But so if we, first scaling option could be air squats. But to me, the wall ball movement here looks a heck of a lot like a thruster. So I'd encourage you to actually have, if you don't have a wall ball, to think about doing thrusters instead. That could be dumbbell thrusters at a light weight. That could be barbell thrusters. That could be paint can thrusters. Something light, right? This isn't Fran. We're not going at a 195 pounds or something like that. But the same, if that's something that you do, the same perspective applies when I said in terms of like when to break versus when to hold on or how long you can hold on. Ian, it looks like you have a wall ball. Great. So I'm gonna, Ian, questions on the workout at all?
The step-ups are not weighted.
Correct. Step-ups are not weighted.
Right.
Good question.
Nope, that's it.
Other questions?
Does that look about 9 feet?
Thereabout. I'm gonna say an average door is maybe 7.5, 8 feet.
I might be able to find out. For me.
That being said, like it looks like that's kind of where you're capped ceiling wise.
Yeah,
So I would just make it work. And this is something for everyone who's looking at different scaling options. We can look at scaling in a lot of different ways, but if you're worried about maybe not having heavy enough or not having high enough target, anything like that, just push the pace. That's really what this is about. We really want to push the intensity. So I'd rather have, and this is the same in class too, I'd rather have, for most workouts, people go at the lighter option and really being able to push that pace. Now, if it's a workout like Grace or something like that, where there is a specific RX and that's what we're going to test and retest, that's maybe a little bit different story. Ian, what do you come up with for height there?
8 feet.
For the door?
Yeah. Well,
Perfect.
yeah, for floor to ceiling there. Is that high enough? Or should I go outside?
If you have a spot outside and you want to go outside, you can. That would be 10 feet is what we would normally throw to for guys. But if that's not an option, like I was saying, just go through those fast. And hey, Ian, maybe that means you do thrusters at a little bit heavier of a weight today.
Yeah, I could do that.
As like another option. If you're worried about the height there. What do you have for what do you have for dumbbells?
I have a barbell and 40 pounds. I don't have any dumbbells.
Okay.
I can do barbell thrusters though.
Yeah, that would be another option for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
I think that would be a more difficult workout than doing the wall balls to 8 feet. And then Ian, I'm going to pull up the shared screen of the warm up. So we'll go over that too. Just let me know whenever you're ready.
All right.
And I realized we didn't quite get to the accessory work. That's pretty straightforward, but I'll explain that now. And then Ian, you can decide if you want to do that sooner or after the workout.
Are you calling that?
What's up?
Are you calling that accessory work or successory work?
Successory work. We know that stuff makes a difference. So what we have for this is 5 rounds, not for time. We're looking at quality reps. So when we think of accessory or successory work, we're thinking of usually full recovery. We're thinking of slowing down, focusing on movement patterns or muscle engagement, things like that. And that's really what we mean when we talk about quality reps. We know that we do, for example, inchworm push-ups a lot in the warm-up. But if we really slow this down and really make sure to focus on that push-up versus just rushing through that push-up because the person next to us in class is already done with that part of the warm-up, really slowing it down is going to be a big part of this. All right, so what we have is 5 rounds of the following movements. These do not have to be done in a row. If you want to do all 5 rounds of your inchworm push-ups, you could do it that way, and then all 5 rounds of your glute bridge, you could do it that way. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but if you really want to take your time and focus on one before moving on, you can certainly do so. Inchworm push-ups, we do a lot in the warm-up. Once I switch screens, I'll back to me, then I'll demo those. So normally what we do in the warm-up, glute bridges, we're looking at 10 per leg, and then V-ups. So I'm just gonna look at that real quick. All right, inchworm push-ups. Biggest thing to focus in on these normal push-ups. My hands are up, you can't see that. Reaching down, straight legs the entire time, walking out. I'll get my legs back here. Biggest thing I want us to focus on the push-up is not falling here, not coming here, but almost rocking forward and having our chest hit the ground first. That's really what I'm looking for when we talk about quality reps, is really going forward at a little bit of an angle. This is going to be a really good option for those of us who scale handstand push-ups with our feet on the box. I talk about that a lot with, just like on a strict press where the bar starts here and then we come forward with our head. That's what I want us looking at there. V-ups are normal V-ups. Trying to make contact. And we don't have to lay all the way back down every time. We can kind of get in this hollow position. And then on those glute bridge, what we're looking at here is laying on our back. When we land, Ian, can you hear me okay, by the way?
Yeah.
When we're laying on our back, we have this little bit of a gap in our lower back. Push your belly button into the ground, one leg up. And I want this to be more of a butt squeeze, not a hip thrust. When I squeeze my butt, my hips won't get as high off the ground, and that's okay. I don't want us arcing just for the sake of seeing how high our hips can get. 10 one leg, 10 the other. Questions on those movements, Ian?
No, I might when we get going though.
Okay.
I haven't done those glute bridges very much.
So whether that's Ian or for someone watching this video later, I've said this before, I try to be by my phone within a couple hours after posting these in case there are questions. So send me a message, send me a text, give me a call, whatever that may be. If you do have questions, that one's just a little bit different. Ian, do you want to start with the accessory work or do you want to start with the workout?
I'd say start with the workout.
Okay. I will share my screen real quick so you can get a visual on what the warm-up is going to be. We're looking at 3 rounds of 20 mountain climbers. So plank position, bringing knees to elbows, 15 air squats, and then Ian, for you, this is going to be, if you haven't loaded up your barbell, you can do 10 empty bar shoulder press. If you've already loaded that up, just use that wall ball that you had and do 10, you can do sitting or standing shoulder press.
Sure.
So that's 1 round. And then between each round, we're going to do 10 knee hugs and then 10 quad stretch. So kind of look at the corner in the picture, just looking at knee hugs this way, 10 total, and then just grabbing the quad, pulling for a second, 10 total, 5 each side. So okay. We're going to do 3 rounds of that. How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so go ahead, and when you're ready, go ahead. I'm going to leave this warm-up screen up. Good. And for those watching, Ian did a really good job of keeping his hips pretty low and not really turning into a big pyramid. So then 15 air squats. Good, Ian. Really warming this up for our wall balls or our thrusters in a little bit. And then 10 shoulder press with that, probably with that wall ball, Ian, keeping this pretty light.
Sure.
This is warming up that top half of that thruster or that wall ball. Yep, perfect. Usually not as big of a deal when it's lighter. Just make sure that we are keeping our ribs down when we're doing this, finishing with head between our arms. Looks like Ian's doing a good job of that. Great, and then we have the 10 knee hugs and 10 quad stretch. Perfect. And what you can see, what I like what Eden's doing here, is he's not just like touching his knee, he's actually pulling his knee back to his body, which is what we're looking for here. So 10 total, 5 on each side. And then 10 quad stretch, same thing, but grabbing our quad. All right, now we have 2 more rounds of that. We're doing 20 mountain climbers again. Good. 15 air squats. Good. Looks like Ian's doing a good job of keeping his heels on the ground, keeping his chest up. That's what we're looking for here. And then 10 shoulder press with that med ball again. Again, if for those watching this later, we're just looking for something, anything lighter than what we're going to be using in the workout. Just warming up those shoulders, don't have to get a lot of heavy reps in right away. And then 10 knee hugs and 10 quad stretch. My hope is that after the mountain climbers and the air squats, we're breathing a little bit. The shoulder press and these knee hugs kind of give a chance to recover, but overall should be warming up and getting ready for that workout. Perfect. Last round, Ian. Air squats, last time. Just got so excited for those shoulder press.
Yeah.
And then shoulder press. All right, last round of the knee hugs and quad stretch. As you do that, I'll pull up the workout.
I gotta go run and get my computer cable.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sorry for the wait.
Yeah. Ian, would you rather have me pull up the workout or pull up a timer?
Oh, probably the workout, because
Okay,
I'll have a timer on my phone. Thanks.
great. I'll pull that up now.
It's just a 20-minute AMRAP, right?
Exactly. I like that perspective. It's just a 20-minute AMRAP.
Yeah. Well,
Well said. All right, I'm going to zoom in here.
all about perspective, right?
That's so true.
You want to see everything?
All right, I'll also keep a timer separately here. That way I can kind of call it out too. Let me know whenever you are ready.
Let's see where I should put you. Let's see.
Perfect.
All sit-ups.
Are you doing step ups? Is that a bench with some plates there?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay, great.
I didn't think,
What's up?
yep.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, we will start with, for you, it's going to be 10 thrusters. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Good, Ian. Good. 10 sit-ups are next, 10 sit-ups. Perfect. Shoulders coming in front of hips, exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah. You want to come join us, guys?
All right, and then step-ups. A little wobbly.
Yeah, get my garage door opening.
Well, glad we're not doing jumps on that. All right, so we're back to thrusters. We're looking at 12 reps this time. 12 reps this time. Good. Really out of the bottom, exploding out of the bottom, leaving as little for your shoulders to do as possible. All right, 12 sit-ups. Good job, Ian. All right, and then 12 of those step-ups. Good. All right, we're at 14, round of 14. Couple breaths and still trying to go unbroken for these here. Good. Love that those knees are getting driven out. Keep that up. All right, 14 sit-ups, 14 sit-ups. We're just over 5 minutes in right now. And then step ups. Again, 14. Moving nice and steady here. This is a movement that it's easy to slow down on without really realizing it. So stay focused, stay engaged. Think of the speed and the rhythm that you're working at. Good. All right, we're at 16. Couple breaths. Make that decision before you pick up that barbell. We're going unbroken for 16 here. Good. Keep exploding, come on. Good, explode out of that bottom. All right, come on, Ian, you got it, hang on to it, you got it, come on. Good work. All right, 16. Yeah, 16 sit-ups. All right, we're a little over 8 minutes in. All right, we have 16 step-ups. All right, round of 18. Make the decision now. We're either going unbroken or going 8. 18 or 10 and 8. Now we're setting it down if you only have 6 reps left.
All right, I like it.
All right, come on, Ian, come on. Good.
18, right?
18, yep.
Thanks.
Great job. All right, we got 18 sit-ups. We are more than halfway into this workout. Good work. Stay nice and steady. Good. Just like we talked about in the warm-up, right? Where we're looking to pick up the speed. Just keep maintaining the speed that you're at. Keep maintaining the speed. Doing great. Not really slowing down right now. Just keep maintaining here. Good. Just staying focused on these step-ups, just one movement at a time right here. All right, we got 20 thrusters. Ian, on these, make sure your right knee is still tracking over your toes. It's kind of coming in a little bit. Really focusing on that. Keep driving that knee out.
You mean I need to come out more with my right knee?
Yep, yep. As you're getting tired, your knee's coming in. Keep driving that out.
Thank you.
Good. Good. Come on, keep going. Good. Explode out of that bottom. Explode out of that bottom. Spending as little time at the bottom as possible. All right, take that right foot and just angle it inside a little bit. It's angled pretty far out, and that's part of that issue. Angle that inside a little bit more. Better. Come on, come on. Good. All right, we got 20 sit-ups. Quick transition here. Quick transition here. 20 sit-ups. All right, we got less than 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. All right, right to it, right to it. Good opportunity here to really focus on your breathing. As you're working, Still can be moving pretty quickly, but getting that breath back and getting ready for those thrusters. Get that breath back as you're going through here. Good. All right, round of 22, round of 22. All right, we got just under 3.5 minutes. Come on, right to it, right to it. 14 and 8, 14 and 8. Here we go. Come on. Come on, 4 more and break. 4 more than break. Good. Couple deep breaths. All right, we got 8 more. 8 more. Here we go. Come on. 3 more. Good. All right, then right to the sit-ups, right to the sit-ups. We got less than 2 minutes left. Good. All right, 90 seconds. This is when we pick up that speed a little bit more. Pick up that speed a little bit more.
$22.
22, yep. All right, we got just about a minute to get these last 22. You're gonna have to move quickly to get these done. 1 minute here. All right, a little bit faster, a little bit faster. Come on. 40 seconds left. Last 30 seconds, come on. Come on, 10 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and time. Good work. Way to finish that one just on time.
Yeah. A nice little burner.
Yeah, great work. Suggestions, thoughts, piece of advice for people who might be watching this later?
It helps to have Matt telling you to speed up. No, I think it's don't Don't do this with weights because
Yeah,
put the heavy ones on the top.
yeah.
Yeah, it worked pretty well.
Good.
But I didn't go heavier on the thruster.
Yeah. Even 40 is a lot heavier than you would normally do on a wall ball.
Yeah.
So that was for sure an RX plus for you. And those step ups looked super high too. Just looking at your knee to hip angle,
Yeah.
and maybe that just looks different on that stack versus a box, but definitely RX plus today.
Okay. Coming from you, I'll take it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hey, huge win though is those thrusters and how you approach them. I know it's really easy to round of 12, 14, 16 to really listen to that voice in your head and just drop it, just set it down now and then only have a couple left later, but way to push through that. And I think those push through moments are really where we start going from like beginner gains, which are really easy because you've never done this before and it's you're just going to get that natural like jump just from doing this, but then to go to that next level, I think it comes through those push through moments. So really great job there.
Thanks, man.
When we catch our breath, we do have that accessory work. No rush at all. So if you want to grab a drink or kind of walk to the edge of the driveway and back or something like that, just whenever you're ready, let me know and I'll pull that back up.
Are these 8:30 classes a little less popular than the other classes? Are they typically a little slower?
I've had a total of, in the last like 4 to 5 weeks, I think a total of 2 people, including you.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, they're usually pretty empty. I think it's a tough time for people.
Yeah, it's a weird time.
Yeah. What would be an ideal Monday morning time for you?
Well, I start work at 7, so I'm just playing hooky right now. But lately, I don't know. I like the 11:30 time.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if moving this to really early in the morning,
Yeah,
knowing that we have that afternoon and an evening time, if that would just kind of cover more people.
I suspect so.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I'm happy to get some one-on-one coaching.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I'm happy to do it. It's a nice change of pace too.
Yeah.
All right. Can you see the accessory work here?
Yeah, I see your screen.
Okay.
I don't know. Glute bridges and V-ups. Yeah.
Yeah, inchworm push-ups shouldn't be anything different than what we would normally do.
How many rounds was it?
We're doing five rounds.
Okay.
But again, this is not for time. This is if you need to catch your breath more before doing these, by all means, this is supposed to be more of like I said, accessory work versus like a second workout. All right, inchworm push-ups here, keeping those legs straight. Good. Good. And then for those watching this later, you should really be feeling this in the back of your legs and your hamstring. If you are not feeling it there, you're probably either already pretty immobile, or most likely you're probably bending your knees a little too much. So make sure to keep those knees straight. All right, so on these, again, feet, yep, feet, that's a good position there. Trying to push our belly button into the ground to close that gap in our lower back, and then squeezing your butt. Yeah, keep that leg up just like that, good. And then hold for a second at the top and down. Hold for a second at the top and down, looking at 10 per leg. Again, I'm not worried about how high your leg goes. I'm not looking for like a giant hip thrust or anything like that. Just looking for that belly button pushed down into the ground to close that gap, and then squeezing your butt, and then however high you get off the ground is however high you get off the ground.
So I feel it in this leg instead of the raised one.
Yep.
Is that
Yep.
up to me?
Yeah. So for right now, at Ian's left leg, Ian, that left leg is doing the work of pushing yourself off the ground. Even though we're thinking that our right leg's in the air, there is some work to do to keep that leg in the air, but it's really that leg that we're pushing off of.
Yeah, good point.
And then 10 V-ups. For those of you who have a toes to bar setup, this could look like 10 strict toes to bar. That might be another way to RX plus this. I think V-ups are a good option for everyone, even if you do have that. But if you're wanting to get a little gymnastics, that could be another option. All right, so that was one round, Ian. You got 4 more rounds like that. If these push-ups are really easy, you could do a couple push-ups at the bottom if you want some extra work there, but keeping everything else the same in terms of walking our hands back, legs straight, stuff like that. Good. Good. Other side. Está bien. Good. V-ups are probably like my least favorite accessory core movement. Just not great at them.
I struggle with keeping my legs straight.
Yep. A lot of hip flexors involved in that. If you're at this point and you're feeling kind of winded, take your time. There's no rush on this unless you have to, like, to get back to work or something. Again, these are for quality. So if we're feeling like we're really struggling, it's okay to break these up. It's okay to take a longer rest. That's as much for everyone watching later as it is for Ian. Ian's doing a good job here.
They're deceptively hard, huh?
Yeah, especially with that paw holding and not just using momentum. Then we got V-ups next. Take your time before starting the next round. No rush at all. I've said this a lot in classes that I've coached, but anytime we think of skill work, whether we're looking at something, and that for many that's often gymnastics, but that could also be if we're learning like Olympic lifting. And I think some accessory work kind of falls into this. Anytime we're looking at skill work, we're looking at low intensity, full recovery, fully dialed in mentally. So this kind of accessory work probably is closer to that than it is to a Metcon. So like I keep saying, plenty of time, just keeping mentally focused in on what you're doing. All right, Ian, I think we have 2 more rounds, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Good, Ian. All right, V-ups are the last part of this round.
What else do you have planned for the day, Matthew?
Not a lot. I have, so we just bought a house actually. Just closed on it. Not this past Friday, but about like 10 days ago now. And there is quite a bit of work to do on that. So trying to get as much done there as possible. This last week I kind of wrapped up with clients and stuff like that. I have a couple like administrative meetings on Thursday and Friday, one each day. But that's really it. Super wide open. Hopefully we can get a lot of stuff done at the house. It needs to be painted. It needs to be cleaned. It needs to be like deep cleaned. So thankfully it looks like it's going to be a nice week where you can open up the windows and get some fresh air in there and there. What's going to be nice is having a garage for garage workouts, like a kind of in an apartment right now. We're in the second floor, so there's people above and below and on either side. So it may
no 500-pound deadlifts.
No 500-pound deadlifts. That's for true. But so it's going to be nice to have a garage and a driveway and things like that. I went and got some garage mats. I was looking online at various companies and they were just super expensive, especially for shipping. But actually at like Farm and Fleet and Tractor Supply Company and stores like those, if you kind of like get away from the Google searches for, you know, gym flooring or flooring and go more of like horse stall mats is I think what they're officially called. Got a couple 4 feet by 6 feet sections. So looking forward to being able to use a barbell and stuff again.
Oh, I know. That's right. I got these mats at Tractor Supply.
Yeah. That's a good call. I didn't even think about that. Actually, a couple other people had recommended that. I was like, oh, well, that makes a lot more sense and is probably less sold out because there's, you know, all the CrossFitters are, you know, buying everything from Rogue and from Titan Fitness and Again Faster and all those companies. Might not be as in, just like me, like as aware that some of the other places might have exactly what they're looking for, just called something else.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on your house. Is that your first house?
It is, yeah. So it's nice to, I think May is the last month that we're in here, so it's nice to think that renting is done.
Yeah.
It's over in White Bear, so I haven't timed it out from
nice.
like from the gym, but probably like 20 minutes or so, which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
It's like 8 minutes currently for me, so a little bit longer, but still overall not that long at all. Has a backyard for the dog to run around in, which is going to be nice. No more gearing up in, you know, putting all the layers on and grabbing all the keys just to take them out to go to the bathroom at night.
No winner, yeah. Well, congrats, man. If you need help moving, let me know. I'll come help you move.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I just might take you up on that.
I got a buddy that lives in White Bear too. He really likes it.
Yeah.
Do
you know what part he's in?
On the lake and stuff.
What was that?
I think they went out ice fishing on the lake this year.
Okay.
Had a good time.
It has a really cool like downtown area with kind of a really pretty path along the lake there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the week for me. What about for you?
Nothing notable, I don't think. No, nothing big. Just working, spending time with the fam. Might start planting our garden in the backyard.
Okay.
Nicer.
That'd be fun. Have you guys had a garden before? Or is this a
my wife? That's my wife's deal.
Yeah.
I'll rototill it for her, and I'll eat the strawberries.
Perfect. I like that. I like the that trade-off there.
Yeah, it's kind of her hobby.
Yeah.
I get roped into it. You know how that goes, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like a good week then.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm really glad that you joined the call. I enjoyed being able to just kind of catch up outside of the gym, but then also work with you during the workout too. Nicely done.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the cues.
Absolutely. If you need anything, gym-wise or otherwise, just let me know.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. All
Well,
right.
congrats again on the house. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Hopefully we can get a lot done.
Are you just teaching these classes? Just these Monday mornings?
Yep, just Monday morning.
Okay. Cool.
But like I said, if you need anything or other questions on workouts or anything like that, any of us can help. So by all means, shoot me a text or an email. Maybe we can, now that the garage is going to be an option, can get some workouts in together too. That'd be fun.
All right.
All right. Well, I can let you get going. And we'll talk again soon.
All right. Take care, man.
All right. Bye.